Hey, how are you? My name is Susan Mangi, and today I want us to look at communication at the workplace. For this and more, you may subscribe to my YouTube channel on Susan Mangi 254 or Facebook. I like my Facebook page, Susan Mangi 254. So, communication at the workplace is very complex and yet very simple, depending on how it is that you perceive. I want us to go less of the theories that we have. This is not Comms 101, but it's important to put on to look at some aspects. So we want to combine the types, the forms, the modes of communication, all of them to be able to get the people to understand. It's very important for us to understand that it is not about me who is communicating. For me to be able to disseminate some information and for us to have shared meaning, for you to understand the message the way I wanted you to understand it, and for me to be able to understand, to get the feedback that you actually understood it the way I wanted, it's important for me to be able to think about you. The mode that I use, the medium that I'm using, the way I package the communication, it should be in a way that you understand. At times we have organizations that develop all this policies and you have your strategic plan, but it is so complex such that the people who are supposed to implement do not have a clue on what you're talking about. So it's important for us to be able to break down all these things we make in at the high levels in organization in a simplistic way that the people in the organization may be able to understand. And at times it starts with us. Let's talk from an individual's perspective. For someone to communicate to me, I need to be that easy so that they can be able to communicate to me. They need to be able to understand the modes available for communication. I also need to be able to facilitate the communication to come through. Have you ever seen people in organizations where someone tells them, you go and discuss this with so and so, and then they say, if it's so and so, I'm not going. And why is it that they do not want to go? Because mostly you're not open. You do not want, they feel like if they tell you something, you'll always be against it. So they avoid you. So as a manager, if you are that kind of a person, you will not be knowing what is happening. You will be giving information, and then it ends at that. You just passed information. You did not, there was no exchange, and there was no meaning that was shared. So you end up realizing, why is it that my people don't do what I tell them? Maybe it's because of the way you're communicating. And at times it's also important to understand that nonverbal communication is a big aspect that affects the way we communicate. They say nonverbal communication is universal, right? There's some of these things that may up, as in it's used globally. And then some of these forms of communications are the same. Like now, for instance, if like now when I'm talking to you and I'm making my face and I'm doing like this, there's no way it is the same when I'm smiling like this. It means when one is angry, it is the same worldwide. There's nowhere where one is angry, you're angry like this. No. Anger is the same. So at times when one is angry and you're an angry boss, people will not come to you to communicate, or especially there's some people who are constantly angry. Or if you are this person who is open and your communication can be able to go through time to time, it is very important for you to understand that you as a person will facilitate communication, or you will bar communication from taking place. So it's important for us to know that nonverbal communication plays an important role. And at times it's important to understand where people come from, their education level, their cultural expectation, their, depending on where you come from. I think like now the Asian community, there's a way, sorry, I do not know how to do it very well. There's a way when they say yes, and when they are, as in according for us, when we are saying no and then they are saying yes, you do not know, is he saying yes or no? So it's important for you to be able to understand how people communicate so that you do not perceive it in the wrong way. And at the workplace, whether you're doing formal communication or informal communication, it's important for us to make an effort to make sure that there is shared meaning. If I am this kind of person who is always unapproachable, if I am this kind of person who always knows it all and you do not give time for others to share what it is that they mean, communication will always be one way. But for us to have two-way communication, we have to think about the person that we are communicating with, getting to understand where it is that they are coming from, getting to package the information in the best way possible so that by the time they are receiving, then they have that ability to take it back. And also, as we are talking about this, communication starts with me. All right, what do I communicate to others? All right, do I look serious? Am I a joke? Are you the kind of person who gets to the office with maybe your jacket that looks like as if they've come from the mouth of a cow that was chewing it because of how it's creased, or you're dirty and all those things? So at times the way you present yourself is a form of communication. Are you that bright person? Are you that approachable person? Are you that person that everyone would like to work with? Are you that person, even if you're the serious kind of person, people are able to understand this is your personality? It's like it's us to package ourselves the best way possible. So whom do I want to be? So this is where the personality, the self-awareness combines to make sure that you are a very effective communicator. For instance, if I walk like an apology, I do things like I do not care, that is the very same thing that will bounce back to me. So I attract what I am. So I know I have jumped up and down, but I think I've driven a point home. At the workplace, it's important for us to have the right modes of communication, know how to communicate, make sure that we break down the communication in a way that everyone in the organization that will be able to understand and know that we are all different and unique. And the way I package a message for one person will be different the way I package a message for another person, so that we can be able to have the shared meaning. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Susan Mwangi 254, and on Facebook, Susan Mwangi 254. Have a good one and be safe. Bye bye.